it's like the pollution, the cultural pollution of being a superpower is that over time you grow up with the idea that somehow you should be a super person. Yeah. So then that sort of twists your human character. And I'll give you an example. In America, it's extremely culturally unacceptable to ask questions. Extremely so. Why? Because if you ask a question, it lets everyone know that you didn't know, and then the assumption is you're stupid. Mm-hmm. So you lose position and status. Yes? Yeah. And that happens across the board. I mean, that happens in universities. Mm-hmm. I've got a friend who's a professor of medicine at UCLA, originally from England. And he said his first time he ever gave a lecture, 400 senior med students. He gave a lecture, and at the end of it, as usual in England, he said, "Are there any questions?" And out of 400 students, not one hand went up. And he was shocked. He's the one that brought this to my attention. He was shocked. So after the class, he grabbed a few kids. He said, "Why didn't anyone ask questions?" And they said, "Are you kidding? Everyone will think we're stupid." So the next lecture, he walked in. He said, "Here's the deal. I'm going to lecture for an hour and a half. Then if you don't ask me questions for half an hour, I'm going to ask you." So he gave his hour and a half lecture and said, "Any questions?" And 400 hands went up. Mm-hmm. But it's culturally inappropriate. And it's about power. It's about being perfect. I'm a super person. I'm perfect. I don't have faults. Yeah. In the rest of the world, the more questions you ask, the more the people around you assess you to be smart. Mm-hmm. Yeah?
It's also an opportunity for
because you're curious, and you're learning, and you're hungry for knowledge. Hell, right. That's smart.
Right.
Yeah? Here, it's flipped. Mm-hmm. Completely flipped.
Maybe without questions, who's listening? It's
yes.
all about trying to...
Yes.
Do you recognize... I mean, I guess we're both agreeing.
All the time.
Yeah.
Again, this is an extremely tribal culture. Uh-huh. And the different tribes have their different ideologies and belief systems.
What do you mean by tribal culture? Like, how did that develop?
It's got rules that are inflexible, right? Whereas non-tribal cultures may have groupings, but they're interactive. They're tolerant. And one of the things about America, look, I'm going to meta levels here. But one of the things about America really first came to my attention soon after I got here. Time magazine had a cover, no picture. It just said lies, lies, lies. Everybody's doing it. And it was and this is back in like 93, or early 93. And the whole cover story was about the fact that everyone just lied to everyone all the time at every level. In marriages, in their relationships, in their marriages, in their work, politics, everything. And it's true. This is a country of lies. This country is based on lies. And what do I mean by that? Is this a democracy? No. It was never a democracy. It was never set up as a democracy. You do not elect Obama. Yeah? You vote for Obama. That just tells the Presidential College your preference. They vote for him. Mm-hmm. This is not a democracy, it's a republic. Right. The lie that America tells to itself is that this is a tolerant country. This is the most intolerant advanced country I've ever been in. I've been in a few. And it's the most... And I've been in a lot of second and third world countries that I experience as far more tolerant. Yeah? Including of me. Mm-hmm. Including of me.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a lie. We tell lies about ourselves. Mm-hmm. Yeah. As a culture. So that's part of the problem too. Then and look, America's crazy. You got to... One of my early psych lectures was given by this brilliant psychiatrist who gave lectures on the psychopathology of different countries. In other words, if this country was a human being, what would its psychiatric problem be? And he got to America, it was schizophrenia. Mm. What is schizophrenia? Split personality. We have red states and blue states. We have Republicans and Democrats, and never the twain shall meet, and it's getting more and more polarized as the country becomes more psychotic. Mm-hmm. and the middle ground, which holds the mad bits together, is disappearing. So then people just collect the evidence they want to prove their own beliefs. Yeah. So we have millions of people thinking that Obama is a non-American Muslim who got falsely elected to the presidency by some sort of vaguely Al-Qaeda-ish cabal of we're not quite sure who. I mean, that's insane. Yeah? That is insane. And one of the things that, when I realised after a year here that America's a psychiatric hospital, one of the things that I pointed out to friends, some of the same friends I'd found, the staff, was people in America, every day I'm in America, I see behaviours that in any other country of the world would be considered insane. Insane. Unacceptable behaviour for human beings, with human beings, between human beings. Happens every day. Every day.
What do you mean, example?
I was doing a consultation with a woman in Aspen, Colorado, where I lived for a while, and we were doing it at a table outside a coffee shop, like in summer. Umbrella, beautiful Aspen, whole bit. And someone she knew walked by, saw her, walked over, pulled up a chair and sat down. Are you going to say what's your point?
What's your point?
That would not be accepted in any other country in the world. It's called invasion of space. She didn't walk up and stop and say, "Can I join you?" She walked up and claimed our space for herself and then took it over and started talking about herself. And the woman I was doing the consult with, who's a very successful, middle-aged, rich businesswoman, is letting this happen. And I'm looking at her going, is this really okay with you? Like, I'm trying to do, and I'm not getting anything back. And I thought, well, it's not okay with me. So I turned to this woman and said, "Excuse me, this is a private meeting. We're having a consultation and she's paying for my time. Can you do this later?" And she said, "You're very rude." And I said, "I may be, but you're ignorant. Now get the F out of my freaking place. This is my table. Go away." It's called boundary invasion. Now, that's a massive problem in America. People don't have healthy boundaries. And I think philosophically, spiritually, or idealistically, America refers to itself as a union. A more perfect union. Well, the only way we can become a more perfect union is if we all somehow merge into one. I don't know if that's it, but it's the only thing I can get. But what I do know is this huge boundary problem. So what happens? We're constantly being invaded from the south, and we're constantly invading countries around the world. And not respecting boundaries, even when it breaks international law. Hey, we're America, we can do what we like. Yeah?
Yeah. And it's almost like...
And it operates at every level. And it can be really nasty. I mean, the CIA brought down a democratically elected government in Australia because it pulled Australia out of the Vietnam War. Don't mess with America. Big stick. Did the same to New Zealand, I might add.
Yeah.
So it's a boundary problem on every level, from the personal to the national. But we lie about that too.
Right.
Not our problem, they're doing it to us. They're making us invade them.
Right, of course.